Hammo, as always, just one quick question on the last game. You said Ealing was going to be tough, and it was tough, but everybody will expect that going down there. But what's your reflection of that game now?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be, like you said, a tough game, but we challenged a few new guys that played their first game and that were involved in the squad, and they put in a good effort. Ealing, just on the day, were too good for us and we couldn't stop that momentum, so defensively we've had to work on a few areas that we needed to work on, which the boys have been put through their paces the last couple of weeks. But there's some good stuff out of that. We scored a couple of really good tries, we built some really good pressure, and the opportunities we had, we took those. We've just got to realise that a couple of missed tackles here or there, or not quite switched on. Against teams like that, against any of these top teams, they're going to punish us, and we got punished pretty bad. So, learning curve for everyone, and coaching team and the players and those guys. But we had a pretty young team out there, which is good that they've got a bit more experience, and that kind of adds to our competition kind of this week and going forward over the next few weeks.
No game last week. It was a reserve week for everybody, so a bit of time for maybe the injured boys and the lads that have played a lot of rugby to rest and recuperate. How's the squad looking ahead of this weekend? Yeah,
a bit strange having no rugby on a weekend. But yeah, a couple of guys, like a few guys got rested against Ealing or giving other guys opportunities. So everyone's come back pretty hungry, and we trained last week, and training last night was pretty intense and good competition out there as well, and that's what we need. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got the biggest squad, but we've got to make sure we keep everyone fit, and having a weekend off here or having a rest weekend helps those guys and helps the physios and the S&C guys, and that get everyone on their feet. So we had good numbers last night, and that's just going to add to the selection for this Friday night against Pirates. But it's good. I think it's healthy, and it gives guys opportunities to step up, and if you train well, you get opportunities.
We've spoken about the squad before, that we are operating on a small squad, but there's good competition, and against Ealing there's a lot of changes. So now that those boys that played against Ealing have thrown their hat in the ring and said, well, come on, this is my time now, this is my shirt.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? And a few young guys that put their hand up and played really well against Ealing when we're under the pump and going backwards quite a bit, but they did some good stuff as well. And these guys are training really well out there, so it's good competition, and that's what we need. So selection is making our life hard for Friday night, which is great, and there'll be some good opportunities for some guys, and there'll be some disappointed guys as well, but we need to keep pushing that competition at training, which is going to help us improve on the weekend, and especially Friday night. We know it's coming.
A couple of returning faces as well that will be available for selection. Seko and Betsy, again, throw their hat into the ring. We've not really seen Seko yet this season. We've seen bits of Betsy, but good to have both of those available.
Yeah, Seko's touch and go at the moment. Sue comes back into it as well, and then we've got Betsy as well. So these guys are pretty key operators up front for us and give us a bit of gain line and pretty physical men. So getting these guys back on the pitch will help us as well. So again, just adds to competition and training, which was good last night, and the guys got stuck into each other, and that's what we need to be able to drive. Understand of how tough Friday night and how physical Pirates going to play, so it was good to get a decent workout last night.
On to Pirates then. They've had a bit of a mixed bag. They've played 3, won 2, lost 1. They lost to Hartbury, they've beat Ealing. So what are you expecting from them?
They're a good team, mate. They're a full-time team. They've got a very good coaching team that have been there for a few years, that know this league inside and out. So I understand, they play really well at home. They knocked over Ealing. They were really physical. They just banged Ealing up. Do you know what I mean? And their line-out drive's good. Their set piece is good. Like I said, they coach well and they can play as well. So there's lots of threats all over the board. And I think Hartbury just probably caught them napping a little bit. But if you look back over the games, over the 3 games, they're pretty consistent and they do some pretty good stuff out there. So we kind of know what's coming on Friday night here to the Bay, and we've got to stop them getting in and out the right areas of our game, the right areas of our kind of where we don't want them to be. So we need to be smart with them defensively and discipline-wise there. But they're a very physical team, and they bring a lot of heat around that set piece, around that breakdown, around that contact area as well. So we're going to be up for the challenge, and we were there against Ealing, so there's a good challenge for our guys. Can they live at that intensity, and can they get into a good physical battle, which is hopefully exciting to see what happens on Friday night.
The championship table is so tight. I mean, most teams have played 4 games, some have played 3 with bye weeks, but there's a couple of points separating bottom to top. So anybody can beat anybody in this division.
Yeah, like, we won 2 from 4. Really unlucky against Richmond as well, which the next kind of couple of weeks is pretty crucial. We've got a game this week, we've got a weekend off, game against Cobb, weekend off as well, so it's a bit bitsy, so we've got to make sure we manage that right. But it's quite exciting, isn't it? There's 2 points between first place and 10th, do you know what I mean? And we're 4 games in, or going to the 5th round, so that's pretty exciting. So it's making sure, we're going to put a good performance on Friday night and try get another good home game and get another good performance and try to get another win as well, because that's what this, it's about, clawing each game by game and seeing what happens, and when you've got those down weeks, being smart and making sure you're working forward to the next week. So exciting, but let's see what happens Friday night.
You mentioned the stop-start nature of the next couple of weeks. That's got to be tough. How do you manage that as a squad, as a management, as a team? Because there's a game one week, then you're off, then another game, then you're off, and you don't really know where you are.
If you're smart, you can use it on your side a little bit as well, and giving guys, as long as you work hard during that week, and then if the guys need to freshen up, it is what it is, mate. That's the fixtures, and I think they've done that for the reasons of games being called off and then reserve weekends and all that kind of stuff. So it's just the way it's fallen for us. We play a game, we have a weekend off, and it runs like that for 4 weeks. But it is what it is. We've got to make sure in that time we're off and that we're improving and we're getting fresh and we're ready to go for Friday night. But we can't do anything about that. We don't write the fixtures and we don't pick what happens. So we just got to make sure it works in our favour, really. And the guys are humming and they're fresh and they're ready to go Friday night. So that's our plan for this week.